Thank you so much, Dr. James Kamalafe, for those priceless tips you keep giving to us. And I can guarantee you, after hearing hearing some of the stories on the newspaper, you really want to check your mental health. Anyway, we're starting our interview now. And then, of course, like we said, the 5th of September every year is celebrated as the International Day of Charity. What does that mean? I remember when we were growing up, they say charity begins at home, but should we end at home? And then shouldn't we be extending charity, beyond the frontiers of our home to the less privileged? We'll be having a conversation this morning with a young lady who is doing great things. She has an NGO and is giving back to the poor. So we'll be exploring how we can use charity to help relieve some of the sufferings the poor are having. And my guest today is a tongue twister name, but if and I is going to be a Nigerian and I try and get it correctly. So I have Esohe Osa-aigbovbiosa. Don't let me get it. Esohe Osa-aigbovbiosa.
Yeah.
I got it right?
Yeah, you did.
Ooh, now I can breathe. Esohe, many thanks for being with us. You are the founder of Katy Christ Foundation. It's a charity organization.
Yes.
What do you do? What's it all about?
Okay, Katy Christ Foundation is a non-profit organization. Mm-hmm. We reach out to the less privileged, to the poor. Then we also find a way to empower them and give back to the society.
Okay, so when you say the less privileged, because it's a vast word when you say less privileged, the poor, the needy. Do you have any category? Because I know people, when they talk about charity and NGOs, they must say, okay, we're focusing on maybe the girl child or young girls, or we're focusing on widows, or is there any particular focus on just poor people generally everywhere?
Okay, our focus is majorly orphans.
Okay.
Though we have another aspect for general outreaches for the less privileged, that's the needy among us, but our main focus is orphans.
You're pretty young. How you're pretty young for this huge, because charity is not something we find a lot. I know that if you look at the statistics, initially people used to be very charitable, but unfortunately sometimes the insecurity, the distrust, you don't know who really needs help, who's actually needy, or who's just trying to make a fool out of you by, how would I say, capitalizing on your soft spot or your weakness. But you're pretty young. How long have you been doing this? What prompted you to start it before we talk about the journey that you've been along through it all?
Okay, my motivation started in 2020 during the lockdown. Okay. And it was stirred up by my love, my passion for children. Okay. And then getting to have some kids around me who are not really well taken care of, and then some are orphans. Then the passion struck in me. Okay. And though I've had the passion since I was a teenager, yes, because I've always been a lover of children. And then in 2020, that was when we launched out in full. That was when we started. And I can remember a lot of persons said what you just said, like, you're too young for this. You don't even have the resources. Like, how do you think you can do it? And I was like, okay, I think God wants me to do it, and I'm going to do it. And since then, it has been a wonderful experience. And then people taking advantage of me, it's not a give and take thing. Charity is not what you expect a return from. You do it because you are a person of love and compassion. And if people see you as a person to take advantage of, they are not getting it right, actually, because it's actually a privilege to give.
Okay. I know that when we talk about the International Day of Charity, it focuses on people like you, stakeholders, NGOs, trying to reach out to the people and not just rely strictly on government. When we talk about charity, the name that comes to mind for most people will be Mother Theresa. of Calcutta, and then that's one of the reasons you're smiling now.
Yeah.
That I mentioned that she must be a mentor to
Yeah, she's my number one
She's your number one
mentor.
mentor. So
Yeah.
why her? Because I know that this International Day of Charity started after she died. You know, it became on the eve of her death. We stayed celebrating it. She died at 87 years. And Mother Teresa was somebody we saw who was, in short, the word charity was her middle name as far as anybody. And it cut across religion, it cut across tribe, it cut across ethnicity. She didn't care if you were black or white, Muslim, Hindu, or Christian, because she actually got her Indian citizenship, because
Yeah.
she got there to go and then help the people in India, in Calcutta. That's how everybody became, she became, Mother Teresa of Calcutta. That wasn't even her original name. How has she inspired you? How has she mentored you to give selflessly? Because I don't think anybody has reached that yardstick of this woman. I don't think so.
Okay, yeah, for now, no one has gotten there, but I think I'll get there and I'm going to exceed.
I love that confidence.
Exceed that height. Having her as a mentor, I think it started when I began my journey.
Okay.
And then I wanted to have role model in the new paths that I've chosen, and the only person that could come to my mind was Mother Teresa.
Okay.
Believe me, then I didn't know. I just know there is a woman called Mother Teresa. I really did not know her work in details. So I started browsing about her, started reading about her. I searched for her books online and everything, her quotes, and I discovered something about her. She's a woman of love, genuine love. Because genuine love give and give and give until you give yourself. And we can see that in her life. She gave to the point that she gave herself. Like her whole life was literally sacrificed to helping the less privileged. And she was sold out to that cause. And then I read about her death and everything. And then I experienced and everything, and it was a huge motivation for me. And Mother Teresa is one person I think every one of us should emulate, because charity is not meant for selected individuals. We all are meant to engage in charitable works.
Well, I can agree with you, but what would you say to the average person? I know that the ideal thing is you mustn't wait till you have a lot before you give.
Yeah.
That you can give from the little that you have. But if we face the economic realities of Nigeria, and I'm sure you too must be feeling it, especially when you take into cognizance when you started 2020, which was about 3 years ago, when you take into cognizance the amount that maybe if you had 100,000 from donations, what you could provide for the orphans you go to see for visitations, and if you have 100,000 today, you would understand that you can't get the same value of or help or assistance you would have rendered maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Nigerians themselves are going through a lot. I mean, people will say, I'm thinking of rent, I'm thinking of food, I'm thinking of transportation. Where do I have to even give the next person? But should we be basing charity strictly on only what we have, or we should be looking beyond it to say, irrespective of how I have, or how little I have, or how much I have, I should try to extend love to people? I don't think so. When you wake up and you're hungry, then you're thinking of another person.
Yeah.
It's easy like that.
Okay, charity goes beyond meeting people's needs. It's actually giving the hopeless a sense of significance,
Okay.
and a reason to live. And then you said, okay, because of the economy, and you be like, okay, what you have is really limited, you can't give out much and everything. And I say, start from where you are. And there was something striking you said about having to engage in charity. Whatsoever you put your heart to do, the universe have a way of supporting you. If it is in your heart, you would do it.
Okay, so let's talk about the orphans. That's where you focus
Yes,
on. How do
orphans.
you get these orphans? Where do you find them? Do you partner? Do you go to orphanages? and then seek them out. Let's go through your journey. I'm very intrigued because I told you when you walked in, I was like, oh no, I have a young girl I'm going to be interviewing. And then Charity, how much charity has she done? Does she really know much about charity? But you seem to be on the right track. So let's talk about it. How do you seek the orphans? How do you get them? Are you working in partnership with any other person or with other NGOs? How do you go about knowing which orphans or orphanages to go to, and then what kind of help do you give them? Is it in terms of food stuff, in terms of even just prep talk? Sometimes motivational talk alone can be a charity work. Some people just need to hear, not necessarily because they need the money, but someone that a word you use is make them feel belonged. So how do you get your orphans?
Okay, actually I have a team. I think we are over 50.
You
yes.
have over 50 people working.
Yes, like my volunteers are volunteers in the foundation. Some are in Abuja, some in Lagos, Kaduna, and like that. And so far our journey has been to Benin, Lagos, Kaduna, Niger, Nasarawa, and Abuja so far. And what we do is that we map out orphanage homes in these states, and we visit them one after the other. I think I can boldly say that we've visited, I think 99 or let's say 98% of the orphanage homes in Abuja.
I'm impressed.
Yes. Then for Nasarawa, we've done some outreaches there. Kaduna team, they are doing a great work there in Kaduna. When we get there, we'll go with material things. Go with foodstuffs, clothing, and other items we feel children need. Then when we get there, we tell them we love them and that Jesus loves them, that we are actually sent by Jesus just to show them that.
Because I saw your name is founder Katy. What does Katy
Christ
mean?
Okay, Katy, that's the short form of my English name, Catherine.
Why didn't you give me Catherine to pronounce? You gave me Esohe Osa-aigbovbiosa.
Then the Christ there, Christ means anointed, like Katy, the anointed one. So that's where the name of the foundation
You're looking at a person to be, I think the word is Christ-like. So when people become Christ-like, it helps you and it makes it easier
for you to do charitable work.
Yes. 98, you've covered more than 98 charity places in Abuja. I don't even think I know one. So
really?
Bad citizen, I think. So you should let me know, but how do you do it? Is it every weekend you go for your
we do outreaches.
Once a month? How do you do it?
We do outreaches monthly.
Okay.
We do outreaches monthly.
Once a month?
Once a month, sometimes 2 times a month, sometimes more than, because Abuja can be doing outreach and Kaduna team is doing outreach, and then Lagos team, depend on what we have for the year. So right now, Team Kaduna is the one doing outreach. After Team Kaduna, Abuja follows. So how we do it is that we announce outreach on our platform, and then people just give free with donation. Of course, I give too. Then
so what platforms do you put out? If people want to listening to you now, people want to reach out to the poor, because trust me, quite a number of Nigerians are going through a lot of hard things.
That's true.
About 60% of Nigerians are under the poverty line, whether it's affecting us directly or not. But if you go to the rural areas, you see people who are really hungry. You see children. We have incidences of insecurity, where we've had children who have lost their parents because of all this insecurity. And then, of course, we have orphans created by that. If people want to help your organization, make donations, what do they do? How do they go about it?
Okay, we have a website. We have social media handles like Facebook, Instagram, and then for our volunteers, we have a WhatsApp closed group that's just for the volunteers, where we do our planning, our sourcing, and all of that. So if people want to donate, they can contact us through our social media handle and through our website.
Okay. So what would be your, what's your social, is it Katy Christ Foundation? What's the website? What's the social media handle?
Okay, The social media handle for Facebook is Katy Christ Foundation International.
Okay.
Then for Instagram, Katy Christ Foundation.
Okay. And then when you go to these orphanages, how has it been? You raise funds mostly from individuals. Do you raise funds from, do you get corporate sponsorship from organizations? Do you get interventions too from the government? And why I'm asking is because I know that currently several states around Nigeria are sharing out subsidy. We have seen rice and beans and other things, foodstuffs being shared around. Do you get interventions too from the government to say, look, go help those people, or from corporate bodies, or is it just solely individuals that help you?
So far, we've not gotten any support from the government or corporate body. For now, we are just doing it as individual thing, and then we look forward to having the government coming in and corporate organizations coming in, because we don't just intend going out to orphanage homes and giving them stuffs. We also look forward to having orphanage homes across the globe, not just one, across the globe, where orphans will be really raised in a conducive environment.
So that's your end goal, to own your own
orphanage homes.
Homes, I beg your pardon.
Yes.
I love that.
Across the globe.
I love that.
That's the vision. So for a starter, we visit orphanage homes because we are yet to establish one.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good. Very commendable, I must say. So how would you be spared? This is we're wrapping up on the segment, and of course it's International Day of Charity, and it's impossible for us to celebrate today without having any charitable event. And I hope you're planning something. So what would be your takeaway to Nigerians as we celebrate this International Day of Charity? What's your message? How do you encourage people either to be volunteers for you or with you, or just do some nice charitable deed today and then get into the good books of God?
Okay, I'll say to Nigerians, giving to the helpless, to the poor, is another way of getting blessed. You don't exhaust what you have when you give out, rather you increase it. I know, psychologically speaking, when you take away 1 from 10, you have 9 left, but that's not it actually, because it's a spiritual transaction. You never go down when you give.
Givers never lack.
Yes, givers never lack. And secondly, I encourage us all to engage in charitable works, because if we all are giving to charity, we'll have a better life. Our world will be a better place.
Thank you so much. Nicely said. And I can't say it better. If we all get involved and give to charity, our world will be a better place. Thank you so much, and I must commend you for what you do, especially starting at such a young age. So many thanks for doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
We've been talking with Esohe Osa-aigbovbiosa. No, don't say it. Aigbovbiosa. She's the founder of Katy Christ Foundation.
Yeah.
Many thanks for being with us on Asa Morning.